Hey folks, and welcome to week number 10. I'm re-recording this video for you, so it's changed during the course of this week because I screwed up the peer review thing. So, I've kind of shifted the due dates to account for that. So, this week, by Sunday, I'm hoping you guys can look for your peer review assignments for Essay 3. Those have already been sent out. And then complete your peer review, so by Sunday. And then by Thursday, what I'm really hoping for is that you'll complete your Essay 3 final draft. Now, between Sunday and Monday, I'm going to try to get you guys feedback on Essay 3 draft so that you can get my feedback in addition to your peers' feedbacks, and then you'll, by Thursday, be able to revise and submit that final. Okay? There's also some readings, a reading discussion this week, and then text 4 assignment, and I'll go down and kind of identify those things down here. That text 4 is going to be our last piece of writing for the semester. We are going to spend the next 6 weeks working on it, so it's a big piece. It's worth 40% of your grade, so we're going to just start with the assignment today. Okay. So the readings are all right here. If you have any issues, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'm glad to take care of those. Reading discussion right here. And then the text 4 assignment, there's the Essay 3 final draft. Again, due Thursday of next week. The text 4 assignment, let me pop this open a little bit. Okay. This again, it's going to be due in draft form a couple different times late in November, and then final draft of this won't actually be due until the 16th week of the semester. Okay, so 1,500 to 2,000 words. That is really like 4.5 to 6, 7 pages. Okay, but we're going to think about this in a different way. So far this semester, we spent a ton of time doing rhetorical analysis, okay? We've looked at text, we've looked at image, we've looked at audio, we've looked at multimedia presentations, these sorts of things. The goal of this wasn't really to teach you to do rhetorical analysis. No one is going to ask you to do rhetorical analysis outside of a college setting. You're going to go into the workforce, no one's going to say, oh, hey, can you do a rhetorical analysis on this? It's just not going to happen. We do rhetorical analysis intuitively, consistently all the time, right? We look at a message we get from someone, we are reading it for tone, we're looking at it. We do analysis on it. The reason we've been working on rhetorical analysis is for you to be able to turn around and make use of the rhetorical tools in your own writing. So this has all been an exercise getting you guys ready to do your writing and to be thinking about what rhetorical tools you're relying upon in your work, okay? I want to give you, as I note here, the tools to write and create with a rhetorical mindset. Okay, so our assignment here, and I'm calling this a text for a reason, okay? Your goal in this text is to create a work that accomplishes something, okay? It could be to make an argument, but it could also be to inform a reader about something that's generally unknown. One of the readings for this week, one of the things we're going to watch or listen to in this case, I guess, the podcast episode called Celery from America's Test Kitchen's Proof, is all about informing the reader about something that's generally unknown. It's a topic that, like, most of us would kind of presume we know about, but in reality, there's this whole hidden history that we didn't know about, okay? It might be to persuade or to answer a puzzling question. You need, however, to have a clear goal. From there, you're going to identify the best media with which to accomplish the goal, okay? You can write an essay, of course, but you can create a multimedia project, a podcast, a video, etc. The trick here is to pick the media that will best accomplish your goal. And we're actually going to spend like a week and a half actually trying out some of the different media options and seeing what they do well and what they don't do well, okay? So that we can then come back and say, well, which one of these things is best for my goal? And again, that's wide open for you, okay? Next week, I'm actually going to ask you guys to come up with some ideas that you might want to focus on for text 4. So that'll show up in week 11 assignment. So don't worry about that right now. Finally, we'll work to get it into then we'll storyboard the written words for it. We will have a written component, i.e. something that looks akin to a paper, We'll think about structure and word choice and whatnot, and how those things would be designed to convey your message to the specific audience. But then we'll work to get it into the appropriate media format desired. If it's audio, we'll record the text. You can add music and sound effects and whatnot. If it's video, we'll figure out how to record this. Again, all the tech end of things, we're going to actually practice before we get to making a decision about what to do. Okay, if it's multimedia, we'll figure out how images and text work together. If you do something that involves audio or video, you're going to provide the written part, basically a transcript of it, with appropriate citations. Citations in the audio and video could be done differently, and we'll talk about how those two things might vary, okay? So again, I want to see a clear point. It can be done using classical or Rogerian argument. There's some stuff about Rogerian argument next week. Okay, it's linked here, so you can go check it out, but it's in next week's reading as well. It can also be implied through the course of the work. It doesn't need to be explicitly laid out. Okay, you'll see, like in the Celery podcast, it's not explicitly laid out what their central point is, but over the course of listening to it, you can definitely understand. I'd recommend avoiding controversial topics. You're not trying to persuade someone on a controversial topic. A, it rarely works, and B, the arguments are kind of overwrought and already done. The exceptions to this might be if you want to play with Rogerian argument, again, that's in next week's reading, or you want to focus on what the argument is really about. Like you might say, people like to argue about this, but what it's really about is this. We might, if you want to look at it a specific way, that might be something to think about here. Don't worry about copyright. These things aren't going to be published, okay? So you don't need to get copyright if you're going to use a music clip or something in there. However, they are they do need to be cited. So if there are outside sources that you are relying on here, we want to make sure that those things are appropriately attributed, and we will. Again, work on how to do that in a multimedia document. We will talk about how to make all this happen. My most important thing here is that you're creative, you're inventive, and you do something really interesting and something really cool. Okay? So this is text 4. There's nothing you need to do right now for it. Our first thing will happen next week during week 11. And during that time, first step will be to come up with a list of possible things you might want to write about. And then you and I will kind of work through that list. I'll give you some feedback. I think this looks good. I'm a little confused about this, whatever. And then you can pick the one that seems to make the most sense. Okay? So that is week 10. I'm sorry about screwing up your peer review thing. I forgot to send the groups out on Monday. It totally slipped my mind. It wasn't until Monday afternoon that I realized what I had done. So, not a big deal. I've got some time built into the semester to kind of give us a little bit of cushion here. So I'm just going to make use of some of it. Not a big deal. You guys have till Thursday to finish the final draft of Essay 3, and then we will start working on Essay 4 next week as well. Okay? That's everything for right now. If you have any questions, as always, don't hesitate to let me know.